Oh, my posture's got worse over the years, it's because I'm getting older. So is this true? As we age, does our posture change? Is this just a normal part of aging? Is it correlated with age? And is it a problem as well? I mean, it's very commonly thought that as we get older, we start to, stoop more and become more rounded and more sort of slouched and stuff. But you do see people who are not doing that as well, with supposedly good posture and so on and so forth. So what this was a research paper looking at various angles and positions of the neck and the upper back to examine posture and that change over age. So they looked at neck posture in 120 people at varying ages, and they measured all of these angles and these positions to determine their posture. And yes, it did appear that in the older age groups, the inclination, the head position, the forward positioning, the roundness of the upper back, all went more forward position, more rounded as they got older. So it does seem that your posture does on average change, but this doesn't mean that you can't influence it. But it also doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. It's like saying, I've got wrinkles because I'm getting older. It's not going to do me any harm, certainly not physically, but it's part and parcel of aging. And what this also highlighted was that these people didn't have pain. So it shows you that just because they're going more into this position, it isn't associated with pain. And therefore, it again highlights that posture in isolation isn't necessarily the cause of pain, but posture does change with age. So you can't just assume that someone's posture's changed and that's why they're in pain. It could be something else. Maybe in the individual case there is a relationship to posture, but it might be the sustained position. It could be the stiffness, and they're in that posture because they're stiff or they're weak, and therefore getting them stronger and getting them more mobile is the solution, even though their default posture may stay the same. I see people where really their posture doesn't overly change, but their pain does, their mobility does, their strength does, and yet their posture is pretty similar. So it's not always about posture, even though I was taught at uni posture is so important. Not necessarily, and this highlights that case in point. So yes, posture does change on average with age. You can try and improve it from an aesthetic perspective, of course, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get pain just because your posture changes with age. There are a lot of the reasons behind that as well. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.